Kingdom today. We're going to ride some rides, we're going to look at some shows, but we're going to do things just a little bit differently than we normally do. Reason being is because of this. I have a peripherally inserted central catheter where I dose medicine. And a lot of folks out there may be in the same scenario where they want to go to Magic Kingdom and do some things, but they're afraid that their venous catheter might cause them some problems. So I wanted to kind of come here today, do what I can do, kind of show you what you can do. This advice would be advisable to anyone that has a PICC or Hickman line or a midline PICC as I do. Gotta love the Disney 100 Years Wonder. Really cool. Always love coming into Magic Kingdom and seeing the beautiful trees and the flag and just the square. Definitely reminds me of my hometown of Weaverville, North Carolina. We got a little central area like this. Really just people flocking down Main Street, USA. And the beautiful castle in front of us. Just always fun. Always something to see. Good place to people watch and just a good place to take it all in for a minute. Again with the PICC Line, I've had some illness, as you know if you've followed any posts on my channel that have kind of put me down. This PICC Line hopefully will pick me up and be the antibiotic that I need.
The Tyson family reunion is here! Woohoo! Yeah, they don't know it yet. She knows it. Yeah. Kind of stunned.
Good morning. Good morning, folks. What a beautiful day it is, fellas. Yeah. I think it's a perfect day for a song.
All right.
Are you ready?
Here they come. The Dapper Dans. Gotta love the Dapper Dans. Always a treat to see them coming by in the Main Street USA trolley. So again, just more about what you can do. Sitting on a bench, enjoying the atmosphere, definitely something that you can do with somewhat of an infirmary. Having disability and not using DAS. And for many circumstances is DAS available. And by DAS, I mean the Disability Access Service that you can request as a ticket holder, as a pass holder here at Disney World. I can stand in line. I have the ability to do that for myself without being encumbered to do so. I think DAS is very important, and I want to make sure that for all the people that need that service, they have access to it. Therefore, I've kind of chosen myself not to use that service. Not to say that I wouldn't if I was on vacation and I was really, I knew that my infirmary or disability would prevent me from taking advantage of everything I need to take advantage, I would definitely do DAS. But in the scenario where I am an annual pass holder and I come here often and I can ride these rides at any time, I just choose not to use that service. And I think if you need it, it's something that even in the slightest, if you even have the slightest need for that service, you can ask for it. But in my situation, I'm not going to do that. Getting back to the peripherally inserted central catheter that I've got going on here, the important thing that you have to remember with that is you want to just keep it dry. Make sure that it doesn't come up and that it doesn't get wet. So you don't want to get too sweaty and wear the dressing off the arm, and you don't want to get it wet. Obviously, a sterile location. It is a tube going into your arm, going into, in some cases, your heart, or at least up to your shoulder, as it does me. Just something to be aware of there. Again, when we're looking at rides and shows, we're looking at things that would not restrict the movement of my arm or jostle the movement of my arm or endanger PICC Line gets snagged one way or another in the ride. So again, Omni-Mover rides should be okay. Some boat rides, as long as you don't get wet, should be okay. Like It's a Small World, and I believe I can ride Pirates of the Caribbean if I sit in the center. I'm just going to share this experience with you, and we're going to move on to some of the other parks as well and do additional videos of going around those parks with a PICC We're going to call this series Picking Around the World. If you play banjo or dobro or guitar, I don't mean any offense to that. I'm just speaking of my situation. I thought it was a clever way to discuss it. Catching the Dapper Dans coming their way back around the circle. Alright guys, so I'm stepping into the Main Street Cinema here. Just getting some air, enjoying some of that air conditioning. Some of the retro merchandise we've got going on. Nice little retro Mickey shirt. Personalized D hats, that's really cool. Here's and again, if you want to celebrate your nuptials at Disney, it's definitely possible. Got a lot of wedding themed ears, princess themed ears. Nice. One of the first things that I ever bought my wife as a major gift was a Dooney and Burke bag. Then, before that, I actually bought her luggage. First substantial gift, if you don't count luggage, that I purchased her. I think that was kind of symbolic, the fact that I bought her luggage. It was her 30th birthday at the time. And I said, okay, what should I get you? What would be cool? What would be a nice present for such a milestone birthday? Luggage. It worked. She was very happy. Loved to travel. Loved to go on cruises. Loved to go on road trips. My wife loves to drive. Star Wars Lounge 5s, and they still have the 50th Lounge 5 available for you. Plenty of those. Here's Pandora jewelry. Love this with the retro ears and purse from Coach, the Coach collection. I would take it. Really nice. Prominent but not flashy. And the Coach backpack is really cool. Guys, so I think we're gonna head on over to Adventureland. I have the desire to smell some bromine this morning. Of course, I'm speaking of hopping on Pirates of the Caribbean. Love that ride. Important ride to me. It's something that I think about quite often when I think of my love for Disney World. My memories of that ride is the first time I rode it. It was about dusk that day. I believe it was a Friday that we came. I was 5. I was really young. But when I hopped on the ride, didn't know what to expect. And I was totally taken in by it. I could have sworn to myself, I'm like, I must be outside. All this thunder, it scared me because I thought we were going to be in a rainstorm or a thunderstorm. The whole environment was just outdoors, but it was actually indoors. My mind at the time didn't reconcile that. That was just a memory that it was so believable. I was so immersed in that environment of Pirates of the Caribbean that I just couldn't believe that it was indoors. It didn't even cross my mind that it was indoors. The whole time, taking a nice little walk here through Adventureland. Getting a little warm, so I think what I might do, if it's open, is sit through the Tiki Room. It's always a good show, good fun. I do not see myself doing Swiss Family Tree Robinson today. I think it might be a little difficult. I'll get a little hot, a little hotter than I am now. We will have to see what it's like. And definitely, because I don't want to get wet, I have to watch out for the camel spit. When you're walking through Adventureland, you have to watch out for the camel spit. The camels will spit on you, and you will be wet. Wet, wet, wet. the music and environment. Not today, Mr. Kimmel. You shall not put your secretions on me. Haha. He's taunting me now. Ah, there he goes. I'm gonna check out the tiki room. Haven't really looked at any wait times today. Just figured I was seeing shows so it wouldn't be too crazy. And get on the rides I can get on. So kind of playing it by ear, playing it off the hip. Let's see what this Enchanted Tiki Room situation is. Don't think I'll be riding the Jungle Cruise either. A 10-minute wait. I'm gonna see if I can get on Pirates. Yeah, I'm gonna see about Pirates. All right. Swinging around, swinging around. Is it 5 till 12? Maybe it's 11, I don't know. All right guys, so it's about a 20-minute wait for Pirates. It is a indoor queue, so I think I'm gonna partake in the air conditioning. Should be about 5 minutes till I get inside, so I think I can stay relatively cool. And then when I get in the boat, I'm gonna definitely kind of try to sit towards the middle of the row that I'm in, because you know, I don't want to get splashed down that first dip. Not even inside yet, and I can feel just the force of air conditioning being pushed out. So awesome. And I can already smell that bromine, so I'm a happy camper. Bromine is one of those scents that actually brings me back and makes me think. It's weird that it's kind of like, ew, that it's bromide, but I love the scent. I love the smell. It's one thing that makes me think of Disney is bromide. I don't know how you feel about it. If you have good feelings about bromine, definitely comment below, but it's one of my favorite scents. And I know that's weird, but it's me. All right, guys, so we've made our way down through the queue, about to board the boat. Gotta love all the theming that goes into the queue of this ride with the cannons. You can see people boarding the boat. All the tools and the light fixtures. Awesome to immerse you in this environment. It's just cool. Here. Love the cool fire effects. The boarding area is so cool. Pirates of the Caribbean, such a great ride. Especially love the fact that the smoke machines were working or the fog machines were really working in full effect today. Made the whole experience immersive and fun. Definitely something you want to catch on your way. Definitely something you can ride with a PICC Line. So I think next we're going to go ahead and hop into the Hall of Presidents and see that show. Let's do it. All right, and you can see those walls are fully up for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We've got the really cool theming of the Tiana's food posters up on the walls. Looks like they're gonna have a parade come through here. Don't think I'm gonna be partaking in the parade today, given my scenario, but definitely show some footage if I catch it on the way through. All right, making my way. Through Frontierland. You can see the operation of getting ready for these parades, how the cast members get out and direct people walking, making their way through. See the Liberty Bells in port. Always something to see. Take a closer look at the Liberty Bell. Paging Mr. Moore is right. She's a beaut. See all the people getting ready for their dine reservations at Liberty Terry Tavern. Or they're waiting on the parade. Either or. I'll have to come back one day and do that. Really want to do it on a holiday. It's such a holiday meal. All right, we're almost there. We're almost to the Hall of Presidents. We've done it. We've made it across. Let's go do it. All right, perfect timing. Perfect timing. To check out the Hall of Presidents. Love the collection of memorabilia here. Honoring the presidents and their keepsakes. Got a fishing reel there from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Richard Nixon's key to Yale, key to Disneyland. Ronald Reagan's bolo tie. That's cool. Check out some of the keepsakes. The inkwell for James Polk. All right, we got Teddy Roosevelt's saddle. Really cool. Again, regarding their public lives and their personal memories. Dwight Eisenhower's wedge. That's cool. Dolly Payne Todd Madison. Evening gown. James Madison's wife. And here is Mrs. Carter. Her dress.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Very lovely.
Carter negotiates. History is what you look for.
Concept that some of the cast members here are historians themselves and would be happy to talk about these presidents. You know, so cool. Beautiful theater for this. I love the show. I love what it represents for the history of our country. I just love all the time and care over the decades that have went into this, making it for all of us. It's just such a cool thing to see. Definitely a bucket list is to come here and check out the Hall of Presidents if you haven't already. Just an incredible experience.
George Washington's stature and bearing have marked him as a leader. His integrity has made him a great one. Washington knows that many generals who have led successful revolutions make themselves dictators or kings. Instead, he steps down from power and retires to his home, Mount Vernon.
70 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
History. Ladies and gentlemen, the presidents of the United States of America.
35 simple words that have been repeated by every American president throughout history. I, Joseph Robert Biden Jr., do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. Nation says
Alright, so got in line for the Haunted Mansion, basically a walk-on. It was showed as 40 minutes, but because of the parade, there was no one in the queue. So here we go. Friends, it's always a good time when you can hop on. Haunted Mansion is a walk-on. Just don't get that every day. Pro tip, definitely try to get on if you're going to ride the ride during a parade. It does save you some time waiting in that queue. So always a good ride. I did see some of the new lighting in the graveyard scene, but I also saw that there was some lights that weren't actually working. So I think they're continuing to work on that. I'm really curious where they're going to put the Hatbox Ghost in the ride. I'm thinking in the attic, as you being the first husband is for Constance Hatchaway as you go through there, but I could be wrong. So it'll be really cool to see where that ends up. So I think next ride we're going to try to hop on here is It's a Small World. So let's do it. All right, boppers, we'll be boarding our boat soon for It's a Small World. The advertised wait time for this ride was 25 minutes. I feel like it might have been delayed a little bit. I think we're looking at more like a 30 to 45 minute wait here. All right. First thing you kind of notice is that above us, up here, is Pinocchio's village house. So you want to eat a nice little meal and overlook the ride, you can. And this is by far one of my favorite scenes in this ride. As you can see, they've got the moat completely drained around the castle. And the reason being, of course, you can see that they've got a crane, and what they're doing is taking down the 50th anniversary decorations from the castle. So the ribbon swirl that went around the turret there, it's been removed. Some of the new 100th anniversary or 100 years of wonder celebration merchandise. So we've had a full and magical day here at Magic Kingdom. It's been a nice little getaway for the week, and we were able to do quite a bit today. We rode the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. We saw the Hall of Presidents show. We rode It's a Small World, and we got to look at merchandise for a little bit. So yeah, it's been a nice little decent day here. It is getting a little warm, and I can feel that if I stay out here much longer, I may sweat too much for this bandit show. I'm going to get home and tend to this. And again, if you like what I do, I am TJ the Park Bopper. Please vibe, jive, like, and subscribe. And I will see you again soon.